Hello, Commanders, and welcome to another day in Star Trek Fleet Command. In fact, today is ARC launch day, November 2023, and that means we can look at the patch notes. Um, Fortunately, I haven't decided yet to buy the cube outright. We'll talk about that. There's been some hype about the new ship that we're getting this month, and we'll talk about that briefly here. But since you can get it in the battle pass this month, the $20 battle pass, I'm just not the kind of player that I need it immediately. We'll let other people this time around test it and figure out what's going on with it. If it was going to be something I wouldn't get for 3 or 6 months, I might go ahead and buy it just so I could show it to you guys. But today I've decided not to. So let's look really quick at the patch notes and we'll talk about it a little bit here. So, update 60, patch notes. There's Data and Picard from the movie, Insurrection, I believe it is. So, there is that. And I believe the movie, I don't have a screenshot, but the ship, the Enterprise E, I believe it is, from the movie, is actually, I saw a screenshot from a video someone else had posted. It looks like it's a G6 Epic ship. So I will not be getting that anytime soon, although I actually love the way that ship looks. So, anyways, won't be something I get for a long time. Let's see here. So I won't read the notes of the description here. I don't know. I've read through it, but not super big on the storyline, and partly because whenever I try and follow a storyline, it takes forever, and there's too much in the game to do, anyways. So I kind of focus on that and ignore the story. But if you want to read it, it's there. You can go to StarTrekFleetCommand.com to see it. Update 60, we're going to talk about the brand new Borg Cube ship that each of you can get and add to your fleet. We'll touch briefly on G6 expansion, new officers, and let's talk about the primes. And it says and more, so you never know if Scopely's going to surprise drop down some new detail as we come into the arc. Sometimes I've done that. But in this case, and more could just mean the bug fixes at the bottom. So we won't go into that today because I'll let you read that. So for the first time ever, and this is great that it's Commanders 28 and above, are going to have the opportunity to add the Borg Cube to their fleet. I've already talked this with some players, and as you would imagine, if they're giving you this new ship through the $20 battle pass, meaning you don't have to grind for one blueprint a month, or like the Monovine, who knows how long it's going to take some players to get that ship, right? The Gilded Pickle. Anyways, I already talked to some players and they've told me that the ship kind of sucks initially, and you're gonna have to either be patient or, as they have in the store, spend some money, buy some packs to build it up. $100 packs, yep. So that's up to you. If it's of value to you, of interest, I think it's cool to get a Borg Cube. I know some players have asked for it, so it's pretty cool to have. And it kind of has a cool mechanic, I think. So anyway, so you can add that to your fleet if you decide to upgrade it. To buy it outright, that's up to you. If you decide to spend money to upgrade, that's up to you. You can get a jump start on everyone else. Let's see here, Ops 28. The really cool thing here that I like, and let's see where it is. We'll talk about it in a second here. Oh, it's got some spotlight. Yeah, let's go there. Let me talk about that. That's where I saw it. Okay, so the Borg Cube features spotlight. Let's see, where does it talk about it here? So, unlike any ship before, the Borg Cube is meant to grow with you as you progress through your Star Trek Fleet Command journey and scales based on the power of your other faction ships. So it's not ops level, although that's kind of tied to ops level because your ops level will determine what ships you can unlock and build. But I think that's kind of an interesting way to do it. So yeah, we'll have to see how it plays out, but that really kind of encourages you to maybe not skip certain ships. Or if you do, you just kind of have to say to yourself, well, I know the Borg cube is strong enough to kill some of the hostiles I normally would kill with other ships, like some people have talked about, since it's a battleship, that maybe you'll skip some battleship faction ships and just have the ship carry you. So we'll have to see kind of how that plays out. But it has a chart here that's kind of nice that says, what level of ship you have and what warp component tier you have will kind of determine the tier of the Borg cube that you can, level it to. So that's kind of interesting. Don't see me having a G6 anything for a long time. So for me, I built a G4 Epic. I'm right about here. But I do have G4 Rare, so I'll probably be around tier 6, it looks like, for me. So anyways, you can have a look at that. It has a Borg cutting beam. It's interesting. I have to see how this works out, but it has a one-of-a-kind ship ability, allows you to do damage outside of normal combat. And let's see here. Right there. The Borg cutting beam is also unique in that it bypasses all defenses and does direct hull damage, which is kind of like what the actual cube would do. Like, it would do some serious damage and ignore hull and defenses. So taking out whole fleets of ships, right? Current officers in Star Trek Fleet Command and research not found specifically for the Borg cube will not affect its damage or charge rate. That's interesting. I believe it has been confirmed. Heard this on a podcast or whatever it is that DJ had put out, talking about how if you had research for battleships that was not specific to factions, it was generalized research, that would actually apply to the Borg cube. So something of value there to look at. So interesting stuff here. I'll let you read that, and you're still going to have to go out and basically hit hostiles. There's not a new system, as far as I can tell, to hit these hostiles, but what you'll do is you'll take your Borg cube and you'll go out and you'll hit hostiles to get this technological distinctiveness. So that's essentially kind of what the Borg would do, right? They're destroying targets and adding it to their own. Okay, so that's kind of falls along with that, which is kind of cool. So we'll have to see how it goes. When I do end up getting the Borg cube, I'll probably do a video so we can kind of walk through that together. G6 expansion, there's new ships that have been added. And for you, 60 plus, that's of interest to you. New ships and new, it looks like new tech or new systems with new research for the G6 ships. So for those 60 plus, I'd love to hear from you. Any comments you have below. I imagine it's pretty expensive, but they've been waiting a long time, and rumors have been flying that November arc, which we are in right now, was going to have the G6 ship. So not too surprised there. Okay, let's talk quickly about the new officers. I love these uniforms. I don't know why, but that's probably one reason why I love the, or I was kind of a fan of the movie. I know some aren't, but I thought the uniforms looked great. So, for nothing else, I'd love to add. I mean, I'm a Next Generation fan myself, so I'd love to add these two officers to my fleet. We'll see how fortunate or lucky I can get in the spend events. Yeah, so we'll see. One thing I will add is that we've been told this is a 2-month arc, and so we'll have November and December, and then we will wrap up with an event store. So that's something to look forward to, and you will be able to, if you don't spend the $20 for the battle pass, you will be able to finish off the blueprints in the event store next month if you're completely free to play. So that's great sourcing that comes right away, and it's not many months down the road. Okay, I like this Captain Picard partly because as I have recently gone to G5 territory, the only way I have to get G4 parts is through the refinery, basically. There's very little sourcing for G4 for me to finish off those ships. My single pulls, which I don't think I don't have those. Yep, I don't have those live yet. They're still on timer. But for a single pull, it's like 36,000 parts. And I need officers, if I'm going to do that on a regular basis and make it more efficient, I guess I should say, it'd be fantastic to have officers that can help with that. And so what Picard does as captain, he increases the rewards you receive from hostile by 60%, increasing by additional 20-40% based on tier. And let's see here, every time as an officer ability, he's going to increase isolytic cascade damage by percentage for 3 rounds. I believe someone told me that was cumulative. We'll have to look and see if that is actually accurate. Data, he is good as well. Isolytic cascade, he's got officer ability, so no captain's maneuver by percentage against non-armada hostiles. So he's going to be good as to pair with Picard. You can also put him below deck for increasing max cargo. So having Picard data, maybe Janeway might be a good setup, or you could do, if you're looking for loot, just for damage, I was thinking, but you could do Picard data probably 5 of 11 to increase your loot, and then put the EMH Doctor and Picard Beverly below decks to kind of just round out hostile grinding crew for ship parts. So just some thoughts of mine there. 2 new primes. We got this G3 to G5 prime research efficiency to increase the efficiency by 200%. It looks like that's materials. I would personally, that's very valuable, but I'd personally like something that gave me more speed ups or increase my speed up efficiency like significantly. And I'm not talking like a couple 100%. But something significant, because I spent a ton of Latinum on that and I'm always running out. So partially free to play, partially spender here. I admit it. Let's see. Prime junking speeds, increasing the scrap speed. So for those of you who are junkies, you keep throwing your ships in the chopper, this may be for you. So yeah, those are them, and then we're going to have new missions, and there's some of pictures of the new species they will be trying to contend with in the missions. So we still haven't had the missions, as far as I can tell, unlocked. So that's an overview. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how well we can source these officers. They're of immense value to me. G6, I can't touch that, can't talk too much about that, but it's good for the G6 players, those wells that are in that area that, oh my gosh, who has 92 trillion Latinum? Lend me some of that, will ya? Anyways, it's good that, that they can finally get that. It gives them new toys to play with and ships that I won't be able to touch. I saw some screenshots, and they're in beginning in the billions, like 1 to 1.5 billion starting out. So as they tear them up, which you have to think that they're going to have multiple tiers for those ships. When we went from G3 to G4 to G5, they just added multiple levels for that, and so you have to think that they're going to do the same, which is another way to get more money out of them, I suppose. But they'll have fun with their trillion power ships or whatever they end up being. So anyways, I'd love to hear your comments below. If this is something you're interested in, are you looking forward to getting your own Borg cube? I'm interested. I think it's going to be a fantastic addition to the fleet. I'm just kind of like a little leery on how well is it going to fit in my fleet. Oh, and one thing that I'm a little disappointed in is you can't use it. Let me find that. I think I forgot to mention that, but you can't use it in armadas. If I said that already, I apologize, but where was it? There we go. The Borg cutting beam cannot be used on armadas, stations, or Alliance star bases. So that cutting beam that does massive damage, it's possible that you can still have it, I suppose, maybe in Armada, but it wouldn't have this cutting beam, and that's really the whole benefit of having it, I guess. So really, it's going to be a hostile grinder. So anyways, I'd love to hear your comments, your feedback below. If you're looking forward to this arc, and if not, tell me why. I'd love to hear that too. So anyways, hopefully this is helpful, and we'll see how this arc goes. Fingers crossed that we can contend with the bugs and we'll get everything out of it that we ever wanted, and hopefully you'll be able to progress whether you like this new content or not. But should be interesting. We'll see how it goes. So anyways, thanks so much and have a good day.